ready.
Hello and what is up, guys? My name is PixelPolish, and today I am accompanied by SirBanana and Robin once again for a video breakdown of the weapons footage that was released a couple of days ago. And we are super hyped about the weapons, but first, say hi, guys.
Hello!
Yet again.
Oh, hi once more.
Oh hi, but this time much clearer, so that's what counts. Okay, so all of us have seen the video already, obviously. Videos. Yeah. There's a compilation of all three videos that I'm gonna play here on my channel, so if you want to see that without us talking over it, go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna put a link possibly in the description and on the screen somewhere, so you can find it like that, or just simply go to my last video because that's what it is. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and start with the light weapons. I just can't believe how great this game looks, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, one
Yes,
of
and
my
yes.
favorites.
Sword and shield.
Sword and shield.
It doesn't look that different at all.
The sword and shield
There's a
combo
few
is
new
an
things, but we'll
incredibly
discuss them.
versatile
Yeah,
and mobile
not much, but still.
Due to its nimble nature, you can still use healing items, traps, and your slinger whilst it's still drawn.
Like this, for instance.
Well, yeah, I don't really count that as like part of the weapon, though. Well,
but actually it is.
It's just like an extension of being able to use items on sheath.
Well, yeah, that was
Yeah,
it for the footage. So let me rewind a little bit. So there's something pertinent on the screen. So yeah, let's start with your thoughts, guys. What do you think?
You, Robin, first, since you use a weapon a bit more than us.
I think the upward slash that's replaced the dash in attack looks good. That'll be nice for hitting things like tails, certainly. And the slinger, there's not much to talk about there. I mean, that was kind of expected. The slinger's kind of like an item. Well, it's like using an item.
Yeah, but I think that's the only weapon that you can, you know, have drawn and still use the slinger.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
as
that's
is
what I
expected
meant.
on the sword and
Like, it
shield,
would be
because
like...
it's this thing. It's supposed to be for beginners to be able to use their items effectively with the weapon drawn, as unlike any other weapon.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And it seems like now you've got like two draw attacks. So that's also pretty cool. Okay, this is just using the items.
The leaping off the monster, like the animation where he leaps off the monster and attacks, it did look pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. That was that jump and stab is pretty freaking brilliant.
Yeah, but it's not just brilliant because it looks cool, but I mean, back in the 4th generation, when 4 and 4U were released, like they heavily focused on adding some verticality to the game so that we had aerial attack options. But if you were someone who was not using the insect glaive or the lance or any weapon with a natural jumping attack, you're pretty much screwed over to looking for a ledge or a cliff to jump from to do an attack. This time with a sword and shield, you can clearly see that you can just use the monster itself to do the attack, given that he uses the specific move on that monster to land it.
Yeah, it looks like that's an extension of the charge up slash, which is cool because honestly, as it is on SNS normally, it's not really worth using except for to keep a combo infinite.
Mm-hmm. And as for the jumping attack, I actually thought he was stabbing, but no, it's a you know, like a flying shield bash.
Yeah, it's similar to what we had in Generations with the Shoryu Geki, I think the name, Hunter Art, but this time it's an actual move and not all flashy.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I wanted to mention when it comes to all the weapons. I absolutely adore the fact that they have went away completely with the styles, with the arts, but some of the best moves are now literally incorporated in the weapon by default. So that's pretty cool.
That's some good progress.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least, like I said, to add some aerial options to the weapons instead of just relying on the inside glaive jumping up or the lance charge jumping mid-charge. Now you don't have to rely on ledges and cliffs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so I think this is it pretty much, because there's not much super new stuff that we see in here, but let's move on to dual blades.
Dual blades. The dual blades can overwhelm monsters with a flurry of vicious attacks.
Yes, but the first thing, I love the reverse grip during the demon dance. Oh my god.
In reality, it's probably impractical, but who cares? It looks cool.
Exactly, it's not like, you know, we care about that. We care about the fun factor and the epicness of it.
Speaking of epic, oh wait, you're not at that point yet. Hold on, I'll wait.
Wait, what?
Never mind. You didn't show the thing I was about to comment on.
Do you want me to get back a little bit?
Wait. No, it's forward. I'll just wait.
Okay.
Unleash their true potential and bestow the ability to unleash a feral assault.
Oh, this is... Oh my god, I love this so much. Like,
Every time I see it, I need new pens.
this is so freaking great. I need to get through this in slow motion because it looks just amazing. But yeah, you've got some cool dashes in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how practical that'll be, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, the dual blades definitely like look badass while doing it weapon.
And yeah, you've got like the aerial style embedded into the weapon, but yeah, just check this out. Holy shit, what is doing?
Just cartwheeling across.
Yeah, exactly.
In the world.
I noticed other than that though,
Do
like
a barrel
Sword and
roll,
Shield,
roll.
dual blades didn't really get anything new. Like even the demon mode attacks, yeah, the grip's reversed now, but you can see it's still basically the same attack.
But I don't know. Maybe I wasn't using dual blades enough in Generations, but it seems to me like that there's something about the dual blades in World that make them at least look and feel more. More what? Not faster, but nimble, even more nimble than before.
Yeah, nimble. Yeah, I noticed that too. Actually, like I remember, there is a certain end delay maybe when you're done doing a demon step. When you sidestep with the demon mode on.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it seems
yeah.
this time that right after the sidestep, he continues just running on. So that's like, yeah, he actually moves faster too. So
yeah, exactly.
There's
plenty of those little nuances when it comes to all the weapons that make them look almost the same, but still like way more actiony. But yeah, okay. That's basically what we've got to say about this, I guess. So let's move on to the next weapon, which is one of my favorites, the longsword. I love me some katanas. I'm not using the weapon much, but I still like it. And here I've got some definite comments about the weapon.
And extended combos. You can even raise your attack power by using the Spirit Blade and unleash this weapon's ultimate power.
Oh yeah, like this charge. Was it in Generations?
No, it wasn't in Generations. It's a whole new move.
Yeah, exactly, because I didn't use the longsword in Generations yet, but this looks quite epic, and this move especially is bloody epic.
That slash is so...
Yeah.
It feels so
over
like
the top.
generic anime swordsman, but like in the best way.
Yeah, and notice that it creates some sort of a shockwave as well when he lands the blow.
That's the part I was referencing.
Boom! There we go. And the monster actually got hit, even though the monster was pretty far away, so the blade did not reach it. Did it reach the monster? Let me double check.
Yeah. Visually,
maybe a little
you
bit.
can see that the longsword did not connect, but there must be an extra long hitbox to it, because you can see that in the animation, the hunter deliberately jumped back a certain distance before landing the strike.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't seem like it connects, but the shockwave itself is actually hitting the mob. Which is very interesting.
I'll just get up quick and open the door to my dog. One bit out.
And I'm gonna reverse a little bit more, because there was like a counter-attack thingy going on not long ago. Let me see. Go Power Ranger. Get back a little bit more.
Alright.
Okay, I think that was somewhere around here. And I gotta say, I absolutely love the chunks. This obviously, you know, is the case with every weapon, but love the monster chunks flying out when the monster is getting hit.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so
we
really
don't
like
even see the full visual effects because they turned the blood off naturally during the trailers, but we can expect more in the final game.
Yeah, that's my guess as well. But let's see. I think it was here where the like a counter attack.
It was kind of a dodge, I felt.
Oh, there we go. There we go. See that? There we go. And then the charge. So yeah, obviously not mounting, but like using the monster to, you know, propel yourself up is awesome. Like
that's kind of like the same concept with the sword and shield that I talked earlier. Like you're given an aerial option in the weapon itself.
There's way more parkour in this game. That's for sure.
And there's one thing I noticed about that attack too, but it's not that I notice it really only now, but it's rather a trend I see with this attack itself. Like we know how the longsword has a certain system itself in which it charges up when you perform the spirit combo. It goes to white, to yellow, and to red.
Yep.
And that the color of the charge also follow-ups in some of your attacks. So like you can see that your weapon has that color itself on it when it's charged up. But every time we see that move, it's always red. So I wonder if this move can only be used when you're charging the red.
Possibly. That's the thing about this, you know, weapon showcase. We probably don't see even half of the things that are actually happening. So we can only guess some of that.
Well, about that, I don't think that's the case, because like if you look at the greatsword glows red when you're charging it. It seems like red's just the color they picked to show you're using a strong move in this game.
See, it kind of seems like it, yeah, but as I've said, we still don't know half of it. It's just what we could gather from the gameplay videos, pretty much. But yeah, guess that's it for the longsword. Let's move on to light bowgun.
My favorite.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, one of my favorites in the series so far, but I'm gonna get back to that. But holy shit, it has such a great mobility, and the stuff that I really love about World is that it feels like the controls. Obviously, we have never controlled the weapon yet, because obviously it's not out, but it seems like the shooting mechanic is more like a proper shooting mechanic, you know, from the games of different genres that actually use weapons, long-range weapons, and not because basically in the older games it kinda feels like a technical long-range weapon, but it doesn't feel like a shooty thing, if you know what I mean. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but do you get me? Do you get me at all, like what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, looking at it this way makes me wonder, like, well, we know we're gonna get a PC version, and it might not really be the ideal kind of gameplay, but for gunner weapons, what if using the keyboard and mouse controls could actually be really helpful?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've noticed that while playing Monster Hunter Online already, because at first I was like very negative about the thought of, you know, playing this game with keyboard and mouse, but when I tried the bow and bowgun, I was like, oh my god, Like, I'm right at home. So much
Yeah,
precision and fast reaction time.
I could see like for Blade Masters, you pick your controller, and then when you switch to Gunner, then like unplug the controller and go keyboard and mouse.
Oh, you don't have to unplug anything. That's the thing. So on PC it will be super versatile when it comes to the control scheme. But yeah, let's go over some details. First thing that I've noticed is that awesome dashes that will be probably dives or whatever you want to call them.
I see them a lot for other weapons.
The light bowgun is
Yeah, the thing is, it's here. Oh, I love that bullet. That bullet actually has a shape, like a pine cone.
a long-ranged weapon that specializes in high mobility and rapid
But yeah, the
fire.
mobility is definitely way high with this weapon, which is lovely.
This weapon is a
Yeah, I love
And
it.
here we go, mines.
Yeah.
Planting the mines in the ground. Now this definitely, obviously it's not the same, but it very much reminds me of the rifle in Tukiden, Kiwami,
With the
and
grenades?
with the grenades, exactly. So some sort of a secondary attack that is powerful, but you have to, you know, use it strategically.
hunting party.
Shoot it or just, you know, let the grenade hit the monster, so you've got something similar in here. But one thing that kind of bothers me, it doesn't seem like you can detonate them yourself.
Well, if you look, they don't actually do anything when the monster steps on it, but when the hunter shoots them, there's like an explosion.
Oh yeah, actually, maybe that's the thing. But that's kind of weird, though.
Yeah, and you can see it's not his ammo, because there's a point where he'll fire a shot, and the first shot will hit the monster instead of the mines, and it won't do that explosion.
Let's see again. Well, now that he definitely hit the... I mean, yeah, I think you are actually right. There's like a chain reaction going on in here. Even though I only saw the two of the mines like go off, maybe, possibly. So like, we have no idea what those mines actually are. Maybe that's like, you know, like a gas stove, so you have to light it up.
No. Well, the weapon itself looks like it's more about strategic support rather than heavy artillery. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
If you get what I'm saying.
That's where the heavy bow gun comes in, because holy shit,
Yeah.
that thing is crazy. But we're gonna get back to that in the later section with heavy weapons. Okay, was there anything else that I wanted to... Nah, pretty much this. Dives and mines, those were my notes about the weapon. So now we are moving to heavy weapons, so heavy bow gun soon enough.
Yeah, light bowgun just looks
Welcome to the
fun.
Monster Hunter
Yep.
World
Really look
Heavy
forward to
Weapons
that.
series.
There we go, the
Starting with the
classic.
classic.
Great sword.
My first love of Monster Hunter, the Great Sword.
Oh, was it?
The old
I don't play it
faithful.
as much anymore.
What the Great Sword lacks in mobility, it certainly makes up with Earth.
That's the thing, I never liked it, but as I've said in the previous video, I'm starting to like it. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Devastating blows to any
And that shoulder
Oh,
charge.
also, I did notice something I have to point out
Mm-hmm.
when we stop. In the previous analysis, I mistook the shoulder charge for having super armor because of the effect, but now that I'm seeing it better and seeing it multiple times here instead of just the once there, I can see that little like shimmering effect on it isn't actually like a super armor indicator, but a KO indicator.
Oh,
As you can see,
there
even
we
the
go.
monster's not attacking. When he shoulder charges its head, it's doing that, which means it's doing KO damage.
ye old
That's a good observation. There we go. Let me slow it down and go frame by frame. Okay, boop, and slam in the face. Noise. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some good vibes from this weapon in this installment of the game.
ability,
Yeah,
it
but-
certainly makes up with earth-shattering damage. Its excellent range and charged slashes can deal devastating blows to any monster.
Also, like that you can cancel slashes.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed
That's
as
a great
well.
option for the great sword.
Canceling slash charges and wait, let me check out my notes. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to say talk about the canceling charged attacks and the shoulder charge because those are the two things that definitely stood out.
Yeah, but I was also wondering about the grid sword before we move on to the next weapon, because like I said in the last analysis, I also seen the comments, and I was wondering as well, is it possible that the grid sword shoulder charge itself is kind of like not totally a guard point, but a guard attack like the shield charge of the lance would be, in that it would allow you to brush an attack off, but if your guard is too low, well, a strong attack will still break it off.
Yeah, like that person in the comments was saying. I'm pretty sure it's like that. Because though the indicator was for stun and not super armor, you can still see it does have armor on it. He's going through attacks.
The shield charge can do stun as well, so it could make sense.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't think it would take something like a tackle from a large monster or fireball or anything like that. I think it's just like super armor on weak attacks.
Possibly. I could be wrong, but just taking a guess.
Yep, let's move on to the hammer. Can touch this.
Hammer.
Our announcer seems really happy about the hammer.
Savage.
Oh yeah.
The hammer is an excellent choice for those who want to wallop some monsters. Bludgeon monsters over the head to stun them, allowing you to follow up with brutal blows.
But yeah, this attack, holy shit, like, wow, okay, stop now.
That is just crazy.
Good God, like, this is basically all I wanted to say about the hammer. I'm not a hammer user, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. I, you know, never get acquainted with it too much, but this attack is just freaking crazy.
I'm not very much of a hammer user myself, but it does look good, and compared to some of the other hammer combos, it seems to give you another option at attacking the head over and over again when it's on the spot and vulnerable rather than the other combos we're used to. But at the same time, it's like I didn't see that many golf swings, and like most hammer users really get hyped over the golf swing itself because it's the strongest move of the hammer in general.
Yeah,
I think that.
I wonder where it is.
Go ahead, Robin.
I think that fancy where he spins the hammer around and then smashes down on the monster's head might be a replacement for it. Because it looks like that was coming at the end of combos.
Possibly, yeah.
The golf swing is an attack that, while powerful, could easily miss your target if you weren't careful with it.
Yeah. Golf swing... like, I'm sure a lot of people would miss it if that's the replacement. I would miss it because the golf swing just looks funny.
Yeah,
But
it's very sensitive.
in terms of practicality, I can see why they would replace it with a new move. Plus, you know, golf swing always seems to send your teammates flying.
Yeah, but
Best feature.
there was always the option of a
Hashtag best
counter-attack.
feature. But yeah, let's see that smash once more and move on to the lines. Boom! Holy shit, that's devastating.
Such accuracy. Now that's one of my weapons.
Lance.
Never was my weapon, but I definitely like one of the things that's happening in here.
The lance. A stout and
I'm an
stoic
evade
weapon
lancer
boasting
when I do
strong
play
offensive
lance.
and defensive capabilities. Keeping your guard up while moving allows you to counter with deadly thrust attacks.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That mount was pretty interesting, but yeah, obviously that's a part of the aerial style.
Yeah, it wasn't part of the aerial style actually.
That's
Since
just
for
part of
you,
lance
the
in
lance charge
general.
always could be comboed into a jumping lance charge.
I mean, yeah, that's right, but
Which had the potential to mount.
Yeah, but the one thing that most people probably see with the lens is that in this video, it doesn't look different at all from what you're used to the lens. It's like the lens, the way you know it, and just as good as you know it. But a few things I've noticed maybe is that it seems like easier to combo different moves with the lens. like being able to go into the lens charge more easily after a few back steps, things like that. Especially going faster into it rather than being stuck in long end lag animations, things like that. And also, when he does a combo and he does a back step, you can see that the first back step is a very long back step, and then followed by two shorter ones.
Yeah. I did notice that. I mean, I don't as with the hammer and almost every other very heavy weapon. I was not really into those, but I did play a little bit with that way back in the day in Freedom Unite, and that's something that I definitely noticed in here. I just wasn't sure if that was, you know, something completely new or something that I have missed in the previous 2 games because I never used that weapon. But yeah, let's move on to... There we go, gun lens. And at the very start I wanted to say that the gun lens, ever since Freedom Unite, it was a weapon that I absolutely love the idea behind it. There's just something about that combination that really works for me, but I was never able to really get into it. Like, it looks great when somebody does all of the things, but I just felt so super heavy and limited while using this gun.
It's like me with the charge blade. I see a lot of people really good with the charge blade, and it looks really appealing, but I'm just not good with it.
Yeah, Robin?
I was gonna say, gun lance is... It's a strange place for the weapon to be, because it's a weapon I want to love, but gun lance is just a weapon that's always been pretty underpowered.
Oh, I don't know about that because I don't have that much experience.
In G rank in particular, that is underpowered.
Yeah, like in low rank, high rank, it does fine, but then you get to G rank and it's just not good. But I'll talk about that more in a minute.
But yeah, right here, I don't know if this is just part of some, you know, fancy animations, or does it actually have some effect? But what the hell is going on with those spikes?
It's a reload animation, I think.
I mean, yeah, it's a reload animation, but is there anything more to it, or is it just something?
It seems like it's preparing a bullet with it, a special bullet, probably.
What were you were saying, Robin?
I was saying the spikes just look like they're part of the weapon design.
Yeah, but it just looks so crazy cool.
With its ability to fire off bone-breaking shells to blast the monster.
Yeah. This
looks like the spike that we
and immediately going into the wyvern fire.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, so many good combos it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like you can string the combos way easier. As I've said, I don't have any proper experience with the weapon, but from what I remember, it felt way more clunky. So this is one of those weapons that I'm on the same page as Robin. One of the weapons that I love on paper, but somehow couldn't love it in practice. But it's one of the weapons that I'm gonna go for in this game. That's for sure. There's something about what I'm seeing in here that makes me think that I'm gonna love it this time.
Yeah, and I have to wonder too. Because... Oh, go, Robin.
You can go ahead, mine's going to take longer. I was going to clarify what I meant earlier about it always being underpowered.
I guess I'll go first then. Yeah, I was wondering because we see that new type of attack where it plants the shell into the face of the monster. And I know we usually have different specialties of gun lances between wide, normal, and long type of gun lances. And I was kind of wondering if maybe we could see a shift where that bullet he planted on the monster will be the new specialty of the long type gun lance, because otherwise long type gun lances have to rely on their power being into the wyvern fire, and they have to like leave the attack on a cooldown after they use it. So it's kind of it's not that it's necessarily bad. It's just
hey, wait up, guys. So those spikes are not just a part of animation. Check this out. I only now when going frame by frame I caught it. See, the spikes are actually, this is what you plant in his face. Look at this. See?
Yeah.
The spikes are
I seen it
in its face. So it's not just it's not just reload animation. There's more to it.
It was preparing a special bullet.
So this is what make him explode. When it was moving fast, I didn't notice that, but all of a sudden, going frame by frame, I was like, oh, he's got a fancy nose piercing. Boom. So this is cool.
Yeah, but I have to wonder how the new specialties are gonna work with the gun lens this time. But
and
maybe now it's Robin's turn.
One of my personal favorites when it comes to the new, you know, all the improvements to the weapons. Good God. And like, heavy bowgun was something that I hated. That's yet another weapon that I wasn't a fan of, and in this game it's might be even the first one that I'm gonna go for, because holy shit.
Bowgun. For a trade-off in mobility, the heavy bowgun is capable of inflicting massive damage with its high-powered artillery.
I'll just wait to explain why the gun lance is underpowered toward the end. That way anyone who just wants to see an analysis of the weapons.
Yeah, okay, let's do it like that. But I love that mortar shot, by the way.
Yeah.
Heavy artillery, like bouncing off its face. The shape of it itself is kind of funny, like a typical, you know, bomb.
Yeah.
I noticed they go prone, and I wonder if there's any perks for that.
Oh, there we go. That's the that's the part.
That is amazing.
Boo. And I was like, is it gonna hit him? Is it gonna hit him? Nope. It's gonna explode. Whoosh.
Yeah, and they called it the
What do you call that ammo type? The Wyvern Heart?
Yeah, maybe a new bullet type specific to the heavy bowgun.
Yeah, it looks definitely specific to the heavy bowgun. I don't think light bowgun even has a
maybe it's
of using
one
that.
of those special ammo that's for the heavy bowgun, like the Gatling ammo. But instead it will be like this.
Yeah, like a siege / sniper mode.
Yeah.
Wyvern Heart. Wyvern
siege fire,
Heart.
like,
Did he say Wyvern Heart?
yeah, something like that.
Let's me go back a little bit further.
Wyvern Heart.
Wyvern Heart. So this is what it is. Okay.
What a cheesy name.
A little bit, but you know, most of the names are cheesy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's not a
now
bad
we
name.
move on to tech weapons. With some of my favorites too. Oh, by the way, before we move on, because this is not actually shown during the bow part, can you see those rocket-propelled freaking arrows right here?
Yeah, I think that's the game's way of showing that the arrow's been lit on fire, because we can see that's the same arrow they lit across the ground. But it does look like rockets.
It definitely looks like a...
It's probably one we see in the final move where he tries to wing the arrow, but we're gonna see it later.
Yeah, this definitely looks like rocket engines, like mounted on the arrow. Like, why not go completely overboard? Because you know it's just fun. But yeah,
Gotta make sure you hit your target.
rocket-propelled arrows. Holy shit!
Ah, switch axe. I know nothing of this weapon.
I know nothing of this weapon at all as well, but I'm willing to bet that Banana does.
Yeah, I've used it a bit, and it's really a classic.
Yeah, pretty much all I know is stay in sword mode.
And a swift sword. Wreak havoc in axe mode and unleash the sword's element discharge for a devastating blow to your target.
And that, oh my god, so good.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I wanted to point out from my point of view, because as I've said, I am not almost at all familiar with the weapon, but you know, the elemental discharges look great, that's one thing, but the way he mounts after, you know, planting the blade in his mouth and then blows it up, oh.
God, yeah. That looks way better than anything aerial that we had in Monster Hunter Generations with the switch axe. That looks like a proper aerial switch axe done right. Like, so satisfying.
And boom, discharge.
And also, one of the things I love looking at a switch axe this way is that when it is in sword mode, you can see that it's all flaming hot with power.
Also, I know this is only a part of animation and nothing, you know, special, but I just love the way he plants the weapon in the ground and uses it to, you know, to stop himself and get back into the fight.
Yeah, because otherwise there's nothing stopping him from flying back.
Yeah, that just looks epic, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, with a flaming hot animation of the switch axe when it's in sword mode, but also gotta wonder what are they gonna do with the elemental files, because we know they're supposed to boost the elemental attribute of the switch axe in sword mode, but maybe we'll see some different animations depending on what kind of element the switch axe itself is. Like if it's a thunder switch axe with an elemental file, maybe we're gonna see some electricity flowing through the weapon, or maybe if it's ice, you're gonna see like that little.
I mean, it's one of these weapons that it still looks fun, but there's nothing about it in world that makes me actually want to, you know, grab one as soon as possible. But the Charge Blade, on the other hand, my personal favorite since it's appeared for the first time,
one looked great.
Is
all the changes I've seen. I love for
is
this weapon.
Crazy cool. Yeah.
Charge blade.
Ah, you see, that's one of the cool things that I've noticed. That back evade after getting some charge. Let's see that again. Yeah, so whoosh and back. So you can, and he did it in a perfect moment too to demonstrate it, because this way he was able to easily evade that incoming, you know, claw attack.
Yeah, and the back dodge went very far.
Just the evades for this weapon are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the sliding.
And yeah, the sliding. The sliding was another thing that I have noted, because it just looks so freaking cool and gives you so much mobility.
Also, here, the AED. I see they went back to the 4U way of using it instead of like generations and double cross, where it was just like you hit the monster and there was a big explosion on it. It went back to the 4U wave. It's a shockwave like on the ground.
Yep, exactly. Something that I missed in Generation a little bit.
I really love how for the sword and shield mode, where your dodges can be way more easily comboed into attacks by not just dodging, but then sliding back into the action with the sword and striking, and with the axe mode looking a lot more agile, and like you don't feel as clunky as before, where your moves were slow and you sure you had that oomph, but you didn't. It was hard to aim sometimes. So like seeing the axe mode this way, just going wild and faster than before, just I think I might really give this weapon another try in Monster Hunter World.
Well, I'm gonna definitely go get back to it, because since for you it was one of my favorites, and I don't think this will change in this game, and I might actually enjoy it even more from what I've seen in this short clip. Well, yeah, that was it pretty much when it comes to that. And Banana's favorite.
Oh yeah, I might need a few extra pants.
But I'm gonna be honest, when I saw what's happening in this video here, I was my mind was blown.
Yeah.
So much,
This is how you handle
so
an
much,
aerial weapon.
exactly, so much control in the air. You can switch directions and shit. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Combined with the use of kinsects to receive boosts.
I mean, it's no Tonfus, but honestly, this is the closest we're gonna get in the main series, and it still looks great.
Vaulting of the monster and everything, and changing direction in midair. Holy crap!
But I'd like to note about that. Like they shown more gameplay of the Insane Glaive in another video, and we know for sure that the moment where he gives himself a propulsion in the air does consume stamina, like in burst. So there's a possibility that the Constitution skill might reduce that stamina consumption for every little hop you do in the air. And that also means that if you play along a hunting horn user, for the inside glaive more than before, it's gonna become a really useful perk to have a hunting horn played and negate stamina consumption song.
Oh yeah.
So that you can just do this thing over and over again.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing Banana just not touching the ground almost ever in this game.
Yeah, it's the floor is lava weapon.
I might even go with a hunting horn just for that specific reason.
Oh yeah, if you do, I'll love you forever. I have no one ever playing hunting horn for me.
I think actually the hunting horn might be next, and that's a weapon that
that's the next
I
one.
absolutely love. I don't use it much, but when I do, I love it. I used it since Freedom Unite. And it was a fun supporting weapon, but also a fun weapon, you know, with KO damage and a lot of reach. And fast as well. Not as heavy as the hammer.
Another thing about the inside glaive that we've already seen in other videos, but for those using the inside glaive, it's great to know that the Kinsect isn't something that's attached to the glaive itself. You can upgrade a Kinsect completely separately, and like have one Kinsect you use with all of your glaives, and you'll be fine. It's like a further improvement than what they did with Double Cross, where you could switch Kinsect between glaives. But this time it's even better. You just make one Kinsect and you can use it with any of your glaives.
I like how he's wearing the insect like a shield almost.
Yeah.
Long live French insect glaive user memes.
There we go.
Okay.
Another one of my loves.
My
comment at the start of this hunting horn thing isn't so much about the weapon itself as it is the design of the weapon. That design gives me a very like Ceregios vibe, and I'm really.
Which one? This one specifically?
Yeah, this hunting horn.
I don't think that's the look of the Ceregios weapon.
No. I'm not saying it's a Ceregios weapon. Like, it's clearly not. I mean, like, it's giving me a vibe like that, like a very thorny monster.
Yeah,
I guess
so. But yeah,
I hope we get to see
here we've got something else.
Soon.
Hunting horn allows you to perform stat-boosting melodies for you and your fellow hunters. But don't take this support weapon for granted. It still packs a mighty...
The visual effects on this weapon are beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the bloody notes colors. That's pretty awesome. Oh, and you might have noticed that you can slowly, but still move a little bit while playing.
Yeah, that's so good. Like, instead of being stuck in place taking the attacks, you can like just
one step at a time, but you can move a tiny little bit. That was one of my notes, and
one of your notes.
I honestly thought he was gonna launch that hunter there.
Yeah, but it's just a small change that doesn't even look like much to someone who doesn't have experience with the hunting horn, but to anyone who uses it, it means everything. Just being able to move slightly.
Yeah, exactly. When you don't use the weapon, you're like, what about it? I mean, not a big deal, but yeah, it is a big deal actually.
Don't take this support weapon for granted. It still packs
Moving ever so slightly, but I'm also curious about the visual effects of those shockwaves. You see, when he's like even here, when he's swinging. I'm curious if those are just visual effects, or maybe. Boom! It is like a little blast.
It might be like an extra KO if you space it right, so that hits the monster as well. Like extra stun damage.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but definitely
maybe
we don't see that much when it comes to the hunting horn. But it looks like another weapon that I'm gonna give a serious try in World.
Bow, my favorite range.
The bow.
Yeah, the thing is, it's one of the weapons that I started with when I first started playing Monster Hunter in Freedom Unite, and despite the fact that it was super underpowered in that game, I still loved it. But yeah, the rocket missile arrows, what the hell? But yeah, oh my god, the mobility of this shit is just ugh.
Yeah, and you can see the quiver on his back, like a lot of.
Agile weapon that allows you to rain down an
you can see at the end of it that the rocket-looking things from a fire arrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and those evades here, holy shit, like, you know, getting so much distance, you know, while fighting the monster that is charging at you, that's awesome. You don't have to spend your time, you know, just avoiding and repositioning yourself. If you time it correctly, you can just, you know, backstep, 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 or rather backspin, and get some air between the two of you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And
we had a move before.
Mm-hmm.
We had a move before, like where after the third backstep, you could follow up directly into a fully charged arrow. So maybe that's like to replace that one by actually adding a new move.
It kind of seems like it, yeah. Especially since this is exactly what he's doing, like backstep, arrow, backstep, and then there you go, that lovely animation of the, you know, ground scrape.
And you can see the jets on the side of that arrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's a special arrow. It's not just like one of his other arrows in his quiver. This one is unique.
Yep, definitely
There's
looks
probably
like
some gas flowing from the arrow, and the way he's grinding it is making a spark to light the gas on before shooting it.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's entirely possible. Maybe that's not just, you know, to look cool, but you can see the engines like going off right now.
Yeah, and then just that shot flowing forward into the monster. Nothing looks more satisfying than this. Oh my god, I'm so excited to try this weapon in the final game.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can, at the very start of this section, you could see, like, he can actually evade and immediately charge. Was it here?
Yeah. And you can also see there that the arrows are in the same.
Let me go back to the beginning. Oh, there we go. Evade plus charge instantly. That adds so much speed to this weapon.
It looks very agile at the very least, and that's a good thing.
And it looks like you can just relentlessly, you know, attack the monster, attack. No, much less if you, of course, master the weapon. It seems like you will be able to, you know, forgo all the repositioning and etc. etc. If you utilize the moves correctly, you will just dance with the bow around the monster. That's what it looks like for me, at least.
Yeah, and imagine from the perspective of another hunter focusing on attacking the monster head on, and like see that hunter with the bow just circling around the monster and shooting whatever body part it wants to shoot.
Yeah, it definitely looks like more, you know, Legolas style weapon than before.
Yeah.
All we need now is surfing on bloody shields and stuff.
Well, we're almost
Just
getting that with surfing down slopes, but we don't even see the weapons do these moves, because as we've seen the hammer in another trailer, you can slide down and then do a cartwheel down when moving from a slope. But we don't know what the other weapons can do down the slope. So once we see that, maybe we'll see some even more exciting moves.
Yeah, who knows. But yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think, we have reached the end of this sort of a breakdown. Not much of a breakdown, because there's still too many variables that we don't know. Obviously, all we have to work with is those very short clips. I wish those clips were like 2 minutes each, to be honest.
Oh yeah, but we'd get way too excited if they were that long. Everything they're showing.
Yeah, obviously they want to, you know, leave something. Yeah, they want to leave something, you know, for when the game actually comes out, so that we explore the weapons and discover all the, you know, quirks of every weapon ourselves. So that's understandable. But goddamn, I want to see more.
Yeah, they really know how to keep us hyped up for more.
When it comes to my closing thoughts, to one that was, you know, when started, you know, clearing in my mind once I watched this video, is that it's possible that this will be the first game in the entire series since I started playing the game where I will want to have each weapon, like literally each weapon.
Yeah, I always did that myself. But you could really say that there are some weapons I use a lot more than others.
Obviously, that will be the case always, but this is the first time when I actually want to sit down And not just, you know, use the starter weapons at the beginning of the game, but even much later on in the game have a variety of different weapons, especially now since we don't have to grind, you know, 2 different armor sets for gunners and blade masters.
And that we can switch weapons during missions too.
I will focus more on getting a wide variety of weapons, even the ones that I didn't like before, or maybe, you know, love the ideas of them, like the gun lance, and actually give it a serious try and try to master them, because they just look so goddamn fun in here.
Yeah. But I do see a few weapons that I know, like, I'm clearly gonna be into those more, like the glaive, the bow, the dual blades, the hunting horn, of course, because I always love the hunting horn. I like being supportive to the rest of the team.
Yep, that's always useful and very underrated.
Yeah, sadly.
Everything looks better in this game, but as I voiced earlier, which I'll touch upon now, I am worried about Gunlance still. It looks flashier, it's got this new move, but did they fix it? Because a problem Gunlance has always had is that Gunlance revolves around not just using the slashes, but also using the shells. And in low rank and early high rank, this is fine. But the problem with that is when you get to late high rank and G rank, Gunlance becomes a lot worse than other weapons because shells are fixed damage, and they're relatively low fixed damage, so they're fine for like low rank and early high rank where monsters don't have as much health. But once you get to like late high rank and G rank, the weapon sort of drops off really hard because
I didn't actually know about that.
Revolves around that.
Yeah, I had no idea that that was fixed damage. That doesn't make any sense in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, they could do something like with the charge blade to fix it, honestly.
Come again, Anders?
Which,
They could do something like with the charge blade to fix it, where, like for him. Are you still talking, Robin?
Well, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you or anything.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I didn't know if you were gonna clarify what you meant by that. I was just saying, yeah, the way files do it on Charge Blade is they're partially fixed damage, but there's also additional damage based on the weapon's raw, which is good.
Exactly. I always assumed that was the case with the Gunlance as well. But yeah, any final thoughts, guys?
Is pure fixed damage.
Yeah.
Other than, oh, you go ahead.
It's so hard to just get a grip on what you want to be saying when saying something like this.
Yeah. But other than hoping they'll fix Gunlance, which would be nice because Gunlance has been pretty underwhelming for a very long time now, everything looks fine. Bow isn't going to be as fast-paced as it looks in this, that's a given, because they're just firing off level 1 shots rapidly.
That's true.
And everyone who plays Bow knows you should be going for level 3 or level 4, not really level 1s.
That's also true.
Yeah, because even though it takes
in terms of
3 or
animation,
4.
especially in terms of animation and visuals, this game is already making me so excited. So when I'm already excited for the animations, and I know that the core of the game is the gameplay, I'm really excited to see it, actual gameplay, how it's gonna be like with other monsters, other species, other maps, all those weapons interacting together.
True. But when it comes to animations and stuff, I think this will be actually a great game to show to any newcomers, because as much as we ourselves love different weapons, you know, have our favorites from the even early days of Monster Hunter, when you compare those games with Monster Hunter World, it kinda looks a little stiff, if you know what I mean, the old games, when you're using the weapons. And here it looks so fluid, so it doesn't look like a mathematical equation, you know, happening on the screen. It looks more organic, and that might actually, and because of that, it looks way more epic, you know, like a proper action game. Where obviously in most action games all of those attacks are you know, basically strung together as animations while you just mash one button and so it looks cool, but for the player it's just like, you know, brainless button mashing. And here, when you will be able to pull off those moves so nicely, show that to somebody, so it will be way easier to notice that it's a very technical game, but it rewards you with super, you know, exciting combat.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because some of my co-workers who want to get into Monster Hunter, or some other friends, I've already told them, like, wait until Monster Hunter World. Once that comes out, that's gonna be one of the best Monster Hunter games we're gonna have since a long time.
Yeah, so haters gonna hate, but we are super excited about the game, and I think it's about goddamn time to finish this lengthy video, because from 7 minutes of footage we've got almost an hour already.
What? Really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, we did.
We somehow managed it.
Yeah, yet again. But yeah, guys, okay, so we're gonna finish it off right here. Let us know in the comments below what do you think about the weapons overall, or some specific weapons that might be your favorites, or maybe something stood out to you specifically in those videos. So we are always curious, always want to hear from you as well, to continue the conversation. And for now, this will be it. Have a nice rest of the day or your evening, and we will see you next time. Bye-o!
Yeah. Bye-o, and let the hype live on.
Later.
See you later, baby.